doing? I don't understand what you're doing. I can't figure it out. Everything was going so well for a time, and then I go and leave for 4 minutes. I come back. The locker room's on fire, and you're all furiously masturbating to Scoop Jackson videos. What are you doing? Am I up here for nothing? Have I wasted all of my time talking to you guys about this stuff, and you've heard and listened to absolutely none of it? Sorry. You made me go all red pill on you. I didn't want to go all red pill on you, but you made me go all Coach red pill on you. There you go, production value. Awesome. Let's check this time. This is the second time I've tried this. And this time it is recording. Yay! And my audio is good. Yay! Hello, folks. How are you doing? No, there's going to be no more Coach Red Pill. Today, it's Bo. Want to wear the hat? Want to wear the hat? You want to say hi to the peeps? Say hi to the peeps who are up there. Say hi. Hi, peeps. Okay, give me kisses. He's like, what's Scott doing? Scott's finally flipped out. It's all over. Oh, God, I'm going to starve to death. Oh, God. Oh, God, says Bo. Good boy. All right. You get a biscuit later. Good boy. There's the dog grift for you guys. How you doing? Good morning. Today, I believe, is the 27th, 6th day of June, 2022. It is bright and early Sunday. I was not going to make this video. As I told you yesterday, it's been about going on 3 weeks straight making videos for you guys. At least one a day. And, of course, there he is. Wear the glasses. And so, I was going to take today off. Oh, God damn, that's awesome. What did I say? I called it production value. I am Scott, that is Bo, and there is a co-pilot in the co-pilot seat. It is Palestinian Coach Red Pill. Palestinian Coach Mauve Pill. And he is here to help you out. Don't make me call in Sir Saucy and make you guys run laps. You know who I'm talking to. Good morning, everybody. That is an Emmy-nominated intro right there. It's Sunday. What'd you expect? Not to undermine the topic for the day. I enjoy having a little fun sometimes. Furiously masturbating to old Scoop Jackson videos. Listen. If it walks like a duck. Let's talk today about China. And I started off, Aunt BB sent me a link to a couple things. Let's hope there's no porn on that. Aunt BB, yes there is, a Florida man's exposed himself. One of you masked motherfuckers are going to take that, and you're going to take a picture, take a screenshot of that, and put a picture of me in there. I hope you do. If you do, please let me know. Send it to me. Put that up on Twitter. Let's start that rumor. Good morning. How deep are we into this fucking video so far? Might have to scratch it. How deep are we in? 4 minutes. That's not bad. I wasted 4 minutes of your life. You do that furiously masturbating to old Scoop Jackson videos, so don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Very serious subject matter to talk about. And they only make light because it's so weird having him behind me like that. I feel like I need to do better. because old Coach Red Pill is sitting over my shoulder watching me. I make light of this because the shit is stupid and ridiculous. I'm sorry, the shit is just stupid and ridiculous. Whitney Webb and OffGuardian collaborated. They've earned $67 whole in tips in the last 24 hours. They collaborated together with Ian, somebody from Her Place, and Kit Knightley from somebody from OffGuardian, an editor. We'll talk more about him. Of course, I don't know who the other guy is with the white hair. He's fucking ridiculous. And of course, Catherine Austin Fitts. And sitting up there is Whitney Webb. You guys know I have an affinity for Whitney Webb. I like her work. Unfortunately, the more popular she became, the more ingratiated she became to controlled opposition sites. She was with Mint Press News until they became so fucking controlled opposition they had to fucking get rid of her. Then they offered her to come back because they realized, well, anyway, they came to a epiphany. But she runs her own stuff and she does her own stuff, and I appreciate the work that she does. However, she locks up people like James Corbett, obviously, and, of course, the OffGuardian. The OffGuardian, and that's Kit Knightley up there in the upper right-hand corner. I think editor-in-chief of OffGuardian. They are famous for all kinds of shit. Doing all kinds of shit. Pushing the China thing for a while, and then, of course, now they pushed the China leak story, I believe, to start off with, and of course now it's all about there is no such thing as COVID-19. It doesn't exist. SARS-CoV-2 doesn't exist. That is the genius behind this moron, and he just wrote this. This was June 23rd, 3 days ago. And she's got him on yesterday. This genius who says it doesn't exist. Well, he's not really stupid. In spite of the fact that all of these fucking nations, many of which have rejected our fucking vaccine, quote-unquote vaccines, the mRNA gene therapy treatments, and are currently doing better fighting against the SARS-CoV-2 virus than we are. Certainly when it comes to fatality numbers and infection rates and things like that. But of course they're all in on it, according to these fucking idiots. They're trying to discuss, is there really a fucking divide between the BRICS nations and the Western nations, the G7s and the World Economic Forum nations? And they're sitting around actually having this discussion as if that's a legitimate debate. Why don't you, Whitney, why don't you have a couple of people on and discuss whether or not the earth is flat? Or, better still, you can have that dumbass right there in the upper right-hand corner with you, and you guys can discuss whether or not viruses exist. Or, better still, whether or not CoV-2 exists. That would be an interesting fucking discussion. Now, to Catherine Austin Fitz's credit, and I don't usually give her credit, those are words that usually don't pop up out of my mouth, but she does start off the discussion, the debate, if there is one, making a very reasoned statement. And that is, yes, of course, there are financial backers who back the G7 fucking nations and the World Economic Forum fucking cabal, if you will, for lack of a better term, and the BRICS nations. Well, of course there is. But that does not mean there isn't a fucking conflict between their approaches. And she sums it up pretty nicely. She could, of course, sum it up even better, even more succinctly, but she won't, and none of them will. None of them will. I haven't watched the whole thing. I'm 7 minutes into it. I'll watch the rest of it later, and if I'm wrong, but I'm betting none of them will. And that way is to say China is a regulated market economy. So is Russia. So is Venezuela. So are a number of the BRICS countries. They are all regulated market economies. We and the G7s are all run by businesses. We are what's called the glorious free markets. And you have to rub your nipples whenever you say that. It's a rule. That's the overarching divide. It is one that is ideological, but it is one that is economic based. And there is a massive difference. Let me give you a slight example. In China, their regulatory agencies, if somebody in one of their regulatory agencies is getting money from the industry that they are supposedly regulating and making decisions that benefit the people that gave them the money or the industry that gave them the money, then they are probably killed. Or they're certainly fired, tried, put in prison for a very long time. Here, our government, when they started to neoliberalize us, started smaller government theory, started to reduce the money to these regulatory agencies or remove them altogether or cut regulations. And in order to fucking continue the appearance of safety and concern for your well-being, they decided they would allow the regulatory agencies to take money directly from the industry that they're regulating. The very thing that would get one person put in jail or in prison for a very long period of time in China or Russia or places like that, we do as standard operating procedure here in the United States, and we approve it wholeheartedly. And you've become accustomed to that being the system. The other day, Rand Paul was going, oh my God, I mean, the FDA has approved this thing for children, which they shouldn't do. And of course they shouldn't. He was like, and look at all the money the FDA takes. He was shocked to find this out. Shocked. This has been going on since the fucking 80s and 90s. If you had ever bothered reading anything, I don't know, Michael Parenti or anything like that, he would have, even fucking back in the day when Naomi Klein was decent, Shock Doctrine was decent. Back when before she sold out. That's the divide. And she hits on it, Catherine Austin Fitts hits on it, and she explains that yes, there are fucking companies that can make money in China the legitimate way, but those same fucking interests who are making money here, they're dictating over here. Citigroup actually had a list, and it gave it to Barack Obama when he was elected in 2008. Of course he was, because everybody hated the Republicans at that point. So when he waltzed into fucking office in 2008, they handed him a list of the people that they approved to be his cabinet. 20 people, 20-something people. As it turned out, this was proven. This was fucking leaked. Years later. It's always later. It's always after the guy leaves office. But this was proven. This is a fact. And it's, of the 20-some people, only one position was filled by somebody other than Citigroup. They own our fucking government. They own it. I was having a conversation talking with somebody, can't dox him, but hello, via email, talking about the war. There's no war against us. The war is against the idea that we live in a representative republic where the choices that the people make will be reflected by their government and utilized by their government. That's never going to do. That's never going to work because big business owns our fucking politicians across the board. All of them. All of them. From Liz Cheney to Barack Obama. From Bernie Sanders to fucking Donald Trump. All of them. You can talk varying degrees, fine. But it's still big business. It's still of the corporation, by the corporation, for the corporation. China's not like that. So yes, BlackRock has investments. Citigroup has investments in China. Citigroup will go there and have seminars and have talks and ask politicians if they can do certain things. They will ask. And then, of course, the party and politicians will sit back and think about it and look at it and weigh the pros and cons and whether it's good or bad for the fucking people of China. And if it's not good, they'll say no. If it's okay, they'll say here, but you can do it with this caveat and that thing. That's called a regulated market economy as opposed to a free market economy where Citigroup tells the president who's going to be his cabinet. Or, here's another example, where big pharmaceutical companies tell the current administration, and the previous administration, by the way, you need to roll out this fucking shit with warp speed and then mandate everyone gets these jabs. And then, even though the rest of the fucking world is saying, fuck you, we're not putting this shit in 6-month-old kids. You get that shit pushed. Because that's 20 million little arms out there at about $105 profit per fucking arm. That doesn't happen in China. There's your fucking debate. There's your debate. End of story. Period. Now, I should just do that video and then do this as a video and do the other one as a separate video. How long is this? 18 minutes. Let's do that. So there's your debate. And she hits on it right off the bat. At least Whitney lets her go first. And she lays down a pretty good fucking baseline. And then these sleazeballs just shit all over the fucking place. They just whip out their fucking... they just reach into their fucking the back of their pants and they just shit their little beer, poo, diarrhea shit and start slinging it all over the place like angry monkeys at a fucking zoo. Oh, yeah, well, there's some things that they disagree on, but everything else is, it's just this guy says, it's just a show. It's just a show. It's like the Democrats versus the Republicans in order to get the Chinese people on board with the campaign. Yeah, it's just a show. That's why they had fucking 2 months ago, Chinese called up fucking George Soros and said, could you please make a video where you talk to all the fucking, World Economic Forum folks and the billionaires and the millionaires and the business leaders and tell them we absolutely must regime change China because China poses a fucking threat to us. It's the domino theory. If their idea of governance and economy is allowed to take hold throughout the world, we'll be fucked. Our system will be destroyed. So George Soros said, you really want me to make that video for you, China? And China said, yes, please, because I've got to convince all of my Chinese people that this is real. According to this dumbass. And he backs that up. That's when I stopped. I said, oh, Jesus God. Here's Catherine Austin Pitts, sitting there looking at him like fucking, I can't believe I'm doing this. She makes a very reasoned argument. Now, Kit, to his credit, in his bullshit, there is no SARS-CoV-2. It doesn't exist. There is no COVID-19. It doesn't exist. They're all in on it. And the end of this stupid shit, which I'll cover in another video. I'm going to have to make another video about this since I've gone so long for this. But in the end of this, he says, yes, there are some conflicts. He finally admits there are some conflicts between the East and the West. There are some conflicts. It was for the longest time, China. China's all in on it. Just like everyone else. They're all in on it. He finally does admit, I don't see where it is. He finally does admit that yes, there is some disagreement on what he calls different issues. However, on this one, he says it's all the same. There's no fucking such thing as COVID-19. There's no such thing as SARS-CoV-2. Because, however, the real East-West divide actually is in other areas, he finally admits a little bit. When it comes to COVID, both sides are on the same side and pushing the same story. That's this person on her show. This thing. We'll discuss the stupidity of that statement in the next video. Understand this. And I should get my Coach Mauve Pill costume back and stand over top of you and talk down to you again, but I guess to make it sink in. But understand this. We'll deal with the stupidity of there's no such thing as COVID or the Wuhan lab leak theory is coming back, making a comeback in the next video. I've got a ton of shit for you on that. Stay tuned. I wasn't going to make one video, now I got to make two. But understand this. There is a problem with our system. Our system is fucked. Our system, economic and political, the elections thing is a fraud. Our system is fucked. So the very last thing they want you to be thinking of is, what's another possible system? Well, that thing seems to be doing okay over there in China. Stop it! No! China bad! That's all this is. That's all this is. She is pushing, I'm sorry, Whitney, you might not know it. Maybe you do. But with this dude definitely, and this dude definitely, and her to some degree, but she at least is honest when it comes to telling you what the real fucking tension is. And it is a real tension. The power that these people have is only going to be fucking fulfilled in the end when they control all of it. Not just the fucking G7 nations. They want it all. And so to get it all, they've got to fucking demonize China. They've got to demonize Russia. They've got to demonize Venezuela. They've got to demonize Nicaragua and every other fucking system of governance and economy that exists on the planet. So the only one exists, and that is the free market, the glorious free market ideology. It must be the only fucking thing that exists. Because anything else, when compared to it, might seem reasonable. Bingo. You can't allow the people to vote the wrong way, said Kissinger about an election that happened in Chile, 1970-ish. So they had to remove the left-leaning fucking president who was elected. You can't allow Mossadegh to run that country and use the resources for the people. That fucks over fucking British Petroleum, whatever they were called back then. He's got to be removed. They've got to be brought into the fold, into the way we do business. It is the biggest conflict on the face of the fucking earth. And it is an ideological one. It is a hearts and minds one. And when you have pieces of shit out there going, well, China's all in on it. China's just the same. What is that? Is that a cat? It is indeed. When you have these people going, China's all in on it. China's just the same. China's no better. If you're going to be mad and angry at the shit that we are obviously seeing big business do to us through whatever government we have left, channel that same anger towards China because it's the same. It's the same. Whatever you do, don't consider option B. By the way, when you look at me and go, option B, China's commies. Russia, he'll kill you if he disagrees with you. Bullshit and bullshit. They're both regulated market economies. And I'll give you a little insight because it's Sunday and you came here to go to church. And right now, you're at the Church of Scott. And I'm preaching. Like old Coach Red Pill. We had a regulated market economy from 1932 until about 1980. And the first middle class in the history of mankind was the result. You could raise a family on one fucking income. You could take vacation. Your kids could be better off after you worked hard your whole life. And they could go to college. And they could have a better life than you did. How's that going now? Our system was so effective and so good back when we kept big business from dictating what happens in the country and our foreign policy. It served as a model. And other countries adopted it and said, hey, shit, this works. Countries like, oh, I don't know, China and Russia. Hallelujah. Has any of this sunk in? Whitney? Because of the 5 people there, the only one I give a fucking shit about is if she can understand, or if they understand, is Whitney. I think old Coach Mauve Pill agrees. Do you agree? Mm-hmm. See? He agrees. There you go. Church of Scott. That'd be a scary fucking place. Wow. How corrupt would I be if I had the Church of Scott and I had like 3 parishioners? How corrupt would I be in about a month? I hope this makes some sense to you. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. You get out there and enjoy it. Go play. Do something recreational. Take the old RV out. Maybe an ATV. Or just take a dog to the park. I will soon. My part has made it from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore, and now it's scheduled for a flight to New York. I tried to ask what the schedule was. They wouldn't tell me. Have a good one, folks.